We have new information about the school bus driver accused of murdering a grandmother. Tonight, we're learning how San Antonio detectives used Google Maps to track him down. Christopher Moreno is accused of running over a stranger twice.
You say you're innocent?
Innocent to proven guilty.
The SAISD bus driver was arrested Wednesday. San Antonio police say he hit and killed Cynthia Gomez on the side of New Laredo Highway back on January 13th. Detectives found surveillance footage that showed Gomez being pushed out of a car before the driver intentionally ran over her twice. Then they found more surveillance video at 7 businesses on New Laredo Highway and Southwest Military Drive. Investigators used timestamps from the video to figure out their suspect was driving a gold or silver Nissan Maxima with damage on the rear side. For months, cops researched vehicle records and tickets that were issued to drivers of that kind of car. Police found Christopher Moreno was ticketed in April. They checked his address on Google Maps, and the website showed a photo of a Nissan parked in the driveway with the exact same damage they were looking for. On June 24th, they brought Moreno in for questioning. They think Moreno picked up Gomez as she was walking home from a family birthday party around 1:30 in the morning. Police say Moreno may have believed Gomez was a prostitute. She was a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 5. Her alleged killer was arrested on what would have been her 49th birthday. Moreno has driven school buses for SAISD since 2017. Police picked him up at the bus barn yesterday before the start of his shift. The district issued a termination letter after his arrest. He's being held on $300,000 bond.